everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to start a new corner in my series, as I told you guys in last week's video, but I don't think I'm going to post it. Whatever, you get what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to do a new corner, and this is the art corner. So I do art. I do a variety of mediums. I do a variety of mediums in art, and I thought that I would show you guys my forte in art, what I do with it, and how I more or less achieve it. Sorry about my hair. So one thing that I do really well in is black and white drawings, and as you probably saw in other videos on a wall in here, mostly my Bearded Dragon ones, you could see all of those wax paper drawings of BTS. I did take a lot of them down because it was just too much. So for those of you who probably have not seen those, I will show you them. And in another video, I don't know. Can't think anymore. This isn't nearly half as many as I have. I have a whole stack and I don't remember where I put them. These are going to be mostly BTS because I haven't really done anybody else, except I'm working on a new project now. If you know BTS, you'll know who I'll be showing you, but this is my forte. This is Jimin from BTS. And everybody has their own type of style. I notice in my style, I don't really work too hard on other extremities. I work really hard on getting the face down. But as you can see, I don't really work too much on the hair. Hair is probably the worst thing that I am in doing these portraits, if you would call them. Oh god, that doesn't, there we go. He looks fat if you do it this way, but yeah, as you can see, like, I smudged the top of the head because it is kind of cut off. This is Jungkook, by the way. It's interesting because as I started drawing them, specifically BTS, I noticed different things about their, like, facial features that I just did the same thing for every other ones. Like their lips, I have a certain like step that I do for their lips to get them that way. And obviously these are like not perfect or whatnot, but they're pretty darn accurate if you ask me. This is Jungkook again. Teeth. Oh my god, teeth are a killer. So don't smile because it hurts. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's a lot harder than you think it is. This is Jimin. And there's a few tips and tricks that I've learned throughout my art career. It's not a career, my art journey. This is J-Hope. And it's also, the majority of my art is on wax paper because I trace it. There is a really big controversy if tracing is art. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I will do another video on it. This is Jin. Ignore his fingers. His fingers are actually like that. It's not me. His fingers are actually like that. This is Suga. His paper got a little bit ripped. So I think you guys kind of get the gist of what I do. But there's there's a lot more than two types. But if I'm doing a portrait, I either do wax paper or I do transfer paper and put it into my sketchbook, which is like on actual paper. And there is definitely a difference in drawing on paper rather than drawing on wax paper. This is Suga. This is one of the things that I showed you guys. I tried to do a little bit of shading, but, you know. This is J-Hope. The hair is probably the worst. Like, the edges are fine. It's just I'm trying to get everything in there. This is Ratmon. Or RM. We're not going into that right now. And then I'm going to show you one that I am really proud of. This is when I first got into the Dolan twins. I watched their video of them reacting to fan art, and I saw that picture and I was like, you know what, I could do that. So I did it. And there's another one that I'm working on right now that is causing me a lot of trouble. But anyway, this is an introduction into my art style and whatnot. Eventually I do want to film how I do everything because I think it would be interesting, it would be educational for you all, so I'll eventually do that. But I just want to show you guys what I have that I use. And the biggest mistake that I have made in learning art, I guess I could do another video of how I learned to do art, but this biggest mistake is that if I watched somebody else and I saw that she had a certain type of pencil, paper, blah blah blah, I thought to myself, oh, if I have that stuff, I'll be a good artist. And I don't even know why I thought that, but I did. And that's totally incorrect. You're not going to be a good artist if you have expensive pencils or whatnot. I mean, like, if you're starting out, it's not going to magically transform you into like a perfect whatever artist. You can work yourself up to it, but right off the bat, if you have that certain pencil, you're not going to be like the greatest artist or whatnot. So that's one thing that I had to learn. It was really weird, but I play with my hair too much. I'm sorry. Okay. And so I'm going to show you what I use because I've watched many other artists and everybody has their different style and I've figured out my style. And so I will lay out my stuff that I use. Granted, I don't use 100% of everything in here. So, probably the most used item that I have would be one of these two things because they are mechanical pencils. I do draw with mechanical pencils. I guess that could be another video, whether, like, whatever. But I do draw with mechanical pencils. This one is a 0.7 millimeter, and this one's a lot thinner. This is a 0.3 because sometimes you just really need those thin, those thin lines. You can't even see it. Let me show you the comparison. See it? Maybe? Somewhat. So I use this for detail. That's the most used item. The next thing that I found, I don't even know how I found it. It's probably the second most amazing useful item that I use would be an eraser pencil. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is a pencil that is an eraser inside of it. It is used for fine detail, which I use a lot in mine, and it is so useful. I would highly suggest getting one because I use it every time I do sketch art. The next one that I use it's a toss-up. I use both of these pretty often. This is a tortillon, whatever. It smudges graphite. So if you put a bunch of graphite, here I'll just show you real quick. Just use this. If you have a bunch of graphite, and granted, some tortillons are made differently than other tortillons, and I have used multiple ones, and I can tell that this one is not the greatest one. There's two kinds. There's rice paper tortillon, and then there's another kind, I can't remember. This one's the rice paper, and this one is the other one. This one wears, like, it wears nicely. I don't know how to describe it. Like, it smudges better. This one here, like, it picks up graphite and it distributes it evenly. Like, you can tell that I'm doing a much better job with this one rather than the other one. If I just do this one, you can just feel that it's not that great. And if I come over here, I don't really have that much to pick up and smudge. But if I do this one's a lot better. I don't know. I have to like figure out the difference and whatnot, but I do like this one better than this one. I call these torts, and I call when I'm drawing or smudging them, I say I torted the head, meaning I smudged it. That's just my terminology. Guys can do whatever you want. Then the last thing that I use a lot of is a gel pen. This one is not that great actually, but it's doing an okay job. Paint works, but this one's okay. It's not the best, but I do use this in my art whenever I do sketch art. I do have other stuff in here. I have a pen, I have another mechanical pencil, I have 0.7 lead, I have 0.5 lead, I have a sharpener. I've had really bad luck with sharpeners, and I have these two, what are they? There's a B and a 4H and 6B. When I was doing with regular pencils, 6B was like my favorite. I love 6B. I've had really bad luck with individual pencils. That's why I just switched over to mechanical pencils, because they would never sharpen whatsoever. They kept breaking. It was just a mess. And also, I forgot to mention, the last thing that I use is a brush. This is actually a paintbrush, but I use it as a brush to get eraser gook off the paper, because I don't want to use my hand, because then that'll smear it. So I just keep all of my stuff in a case, my Master's Touch case. That's the easiest way. I forgot to mention one more thing. When you're usually doing graphite art, pencil art, you're drawing and you're sometimes smudging. So what I did is I got one of these. This is a makeup pad, but I cut out wax paper and put it on the bottom and then taped it. And then it kind of works, but also it kind of doesn't work at the same time. So that's what I do with my art. That's what I use. It's not a lot of stuff, but it's what I find works best. And I can go through, whenever I'm drawing something, I can go through and explain how I do everything and whatnot. I think that's it for this video, but I am going to show you, this is a current project that I'm working on. It's not finished. I'm having a lot of trouble doing his face because, to me, after working on it for a while, it doesn't look like him. And I did have to take like a day. I had to take a break from it, because I'm like, take breaks from your art, people, because it does help. Because then you get a fresh new look at things and stuff. And so then this morning I was trying to work on the other person's face. So that is it for this first video. Hopefully you guys learned something. I will go definitely way more in depth about stuff, about art, about what I've learned, what I think is useful. Definitely about how I learn and how other people probably learn, because I had a lot of trouble learning art and whatnot. And I'll go into the different mediums that I work with. So for this one, it was just like an introductory about sketch, what I do for sketching. Not sketching, but like pencil art, whatnot. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.